If there's one thing that you get out of this video today is if you've never heard of the house of Baldessarini, they have this little fragrance called Ambre. It's got a huge cult following in the fragrance community. So if you've never heard of it, at discounters, very cheap, under 30 bucks. If you can find it, great. It's a steal for the price that they're asking of it. That thing has a huge cult following, and this one quietly got released with not really any fanfare, but anybody that's in the fragrance community, this guy right here, knows that when they released this one, Ambre Oud, ooh, that got me a little excited. So I bought it. And now I'm going to let you know my first impression on this upcoming video. One thing I could tell you in the intro, this thing's a worthy flanker to the original cult followed Ambre. You want to hear more? Keep it tuned in. What's going on, fragrance family? Welcome to another episode of Pop the Cherry. This is where I pop the cork on a fragrance newer to my collection. And I let you know about my first few wearings on skin. Good, bad, and the ugly. You know me. I'll let you know everything. I'm wearing this one here as my scent of the day today just to prep me for this video. Now, before I get into, of course, the meat and potatoes of this video, I want to thank my partner in crime, FragranceX.com, where you can utilize my channel name Robes08 on their website, and you get a beautiful, a sexy 15% off on any purchase. Like, you can put thousands of dollars of fragrances in your little bucket, and you put coupon code Robes08 and you get that sexy 15% off. Or you can just get a little sample, plug it in, you'll get that 15% off on that $2 sample. If you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe, hit that bell. I love to hear the sound of that bell getting hit. And you can keep tabs on yours truly and be one of the first to check out some of my new content. I'm also all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on all those platforms under my YouTube handle, Robes08, talking about social media. Not only am I on Facebook on my own private little page, but I also have a Facebook group called Fragrance Guru Nation. We're up to 17,800 members right now, and we're waiting for you to join us today. Today, as the title suggests, I'm trying out Ambre Oud from the house of Baldessarini. This is a flanker to their cult following release called Ambre. It's been a while since Ambre has been released, and it's nice to see a nice little flanker here, especially with the name Oud in it. That really intrigued me. This is a blind buy from your boy. There's actually been a new release to the line now in 2020, the day of shooting this video, which is called Ambre Oud, which has interesting fresh notes like apple and watermelon. So I'm interested in seeing that flanker too. I might blind buy it because of how strong this one has been, and of course the original cult following Ambre. Now let's go under the hood on this flanker right here. Let's take a look at some stats on this one. Release date was back in 2017, so it has a few years under its belt. Not too much fanfare on YouTube, surprisingly, for this one. How do I get my grubby little hands on it? I already told you. Beautiful fragrance X. They're the best. Coupon code Robes08. Major notes to my nose on this particular fragrance, and if you have taste like me, you're gonna salivate on these three notes I'm gonna say: amber, oud, and whiskey. Got your interest yet? I bet I do. So let's remind me of this introduction. I'm wearing this again. I'm living with this one. I got the dry down right here, that amber. And let's take a couple shots on the back of my hand here. And one for all of you, two for all of you, because I like you so much. So let's sniff this one out. Immediately hit with amber from the original. Love it. Boozy and woody a little bit. So the opening of Ambre Oud is boozy, whiskey, woody. It's got some leathery tones too. It has that familiar semi-resinous, balsamic, smooth, almost powdery amber tone that the original is known for. And a beautiful leathery tone. Does this sound sexy to anybody else than just me in this room? Because this thing, for a designer and for the price they're asking, it's criminal. I initially, when I first unboxed this, and I have an unboxing on my channel, I call this one animalic off the test strip. But now in skin, I was wrong. Not too far off. It's not, it has some animalic feel to the fragrance, just a bit, just a tad. Anybody that's scared of animalics, like I mean like niche animalics, like dirty, skanky oud and things like that, barnyard like, no, it's not like that. But it has some. It's got some fruity nuances, but they're rather thin in here. That's got that signature apple that Ambre is known for, which pairs well with the whiskey. You know, any fruity notes really with any boozy notes will work well together. The original Ambre has a beautiful amber note, which is very much present here. I like that. It is the backbone of the scent, which is what a flanker should be. You should switch it up just a bit, give it some nuances here, especially in the introduction, and maybe play around with the dry down a little bit. But it has a cult following for a reason, the original one. And they haven't really messed around with that dynamic, we'll say. But that whiskey up top, that boozy note, the woody aspect, the leathery tones, definitely one of those scents that I could see myself, you know, hanging around with the boys with cigars and some whiskey. Really that kind of scent. Now that whiskey boozy accord is definitely the star of the show for this opening. It has that little apple splash that is beautiful. And that almost overshadowing such a great amber note in this fragrance. And it really just morphs more into the dry down, into that ambery backbone. But that whiskey note really does everything in this introduction. But that ambery note's in the behind it, and you can tell that it's a really good ambery note, and it is. Now more into the deeper part dry down, you're going to lose that whiskey, unfortunately. You're going to get a little more woods, and the amber obviously amplify a little bit more. You add some patchouli in here. There's that smoky leathery tone that amps up just a bit from the introduction. The dry down is smooth. It's well balanced, just like the original was. The ambery tones do get a little more balsamic here, which is one of my favorite parts of amber as an actual note. I like my balsamic ambery feels. It makes a scent very rich. It makes a scent warming, which it does here. As for the oud presence in this fragrance, with many designers, it's minimal. And here, I have to say, it's fairly minimal. The amber is the star of the show, more into the backbone of the fragrance, but the whiskey elements, the leather, and the woody tones, some from the oud, by the way, truly shine. If you own Ambre and you're looking at this one, the difference is there, definitely. Don't expect a huge change to the original bestseller. However, I would say it's worth a pickup just because of those minimal changes. I think it's a really good fragrance. Again, if you have a very small collection and you're looking to branch out a little bit, obviously getting a flanker of something that you really like may be a little redundant, but an excellent addition to the house. I'm actually very surprised that I'm one of the rare fragrance reviewers talking about this fragrance. I can't wait to put this in the den, you know, in the queue. And I can't wait to review it. I'm looking forward to reviewing it. I'm looking forward to wearing this in the fall because that is one of the better seasons for it. We're talking about seasons. Let's get into the Revolver. Let's just splash right into the Revolver. Let's get into it where I talk about seasons, day or night, versatility, projection, longevity that I got with my minimal wearing of this fragrance. Let's get into seasons. I said already, fall is going to be the season for this one. I can wear this in the winter too. I can tell this has that backbone to it that I think it's going to work very well in the cooler seasons. I can wear it right now. It's spring here in Canada, and I feel like a overcast or a rainy night. I can wear this easily. Day or night, I feel like this is more of a nighttime scent. It has that air to it, the whiskey, the woods, the amber. The leathery tones, it just screams out, you know, leather jacket, white t-shirt, jeans, and I'm going to hang out with the boys. I'm going to go shoot some pool, things like that. Versatility, fairly average for a cool season scent. It has, of course, its restrictions. I wouldn't wear it in the warm weather, in the high heat. I don't think that it would work very well. I'm in the office, nothing like that. But it's one of those nighttime type of scents. So fairly average. Projection longevity. That's where it's going to hurt a little bit. I felt like my minimal wearings of this fragrance, longevity was a little weak for me. These type of scents, I want them. They don't have to blow the doors off the hinges, but they have to do well for longevity. This one gives me 5 to 8 hours, a little weak. So I got to keep my nose on the longevity on this one because it was a little weak for me. Projection was average, so it's almost there. It's not bad enough that I'm going to be in the review and going, well, you know, this thing only lasts 3 to 4 hours. Sorry, guys. It's not really a thing that's going to last you all night. No, 5 to 8 hours is still very good. And projection average, still very good. Would I like it a little stronger, a little tougher? Yeah, of course. Give me, 7 to 10 hours and give me projection above average. And that kind of thing would bring up the score of this particular fragrance, but it's nothing enough to really hugely mention in a fragrance review and say it's a huge downside on it. I don't think so. I would love like an intense version of it, but sometimes those are the things that you would say for 80% of the scents that you're reviewing. It's one of those things. Well, now on to my overall thoughts now that this beauty is going to go into the vault for fragrance review, and you're not going to see me talk about it for another 2-3 years, maybe 10 years. Ambre Oud, what can I say? Overall, a very solid release from the house. It's continuing on its really excellent reputation with Ambre, and it's right there with Ambre Oud. This is a house with a few surprises up their sleeve. I would say this is one of those releases. It's one of those surprises. The original Ambre was great. This is equally as good, and that might mean this Eau Fraiche version gets an immediate pass to be blind bought by yours truly. I don't like fresher scents, but we'll give it a chance just because of the strength of the 2 previous releases. I'm looking forward to adding the last piece of the trilogy, actually. Everything was so good in this scent that it makes me forget the oud was not so good in this scent. It really wasn't a huge player. And I ain't mad. Usually when you're putting oud on the sticker, oh, I'll get mad if you ain't showing me much oud. This one, I can't even, it's such a hard scent. It comes out swinging, and I'm not mad. This is an excellent scent that will slowly make bargain bins and actually join its little brother, Ambre, or its older brother, Ambre. And those would be some great snatches for all of you out there that are looking at bargain bins. Try to find this one. So off you go into the queue to be reviewed on the Robezoid channel. I'll see you in a few years, buddy. But if you join me on Instagram, you're going to see this as my scent of the day a few more times over the years because it's a good one. Now that you've heard my take on this one, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. Hit them up. Hit them up. Let the people know about this fragrance. I think it's a hidden jewel in our fragrance community. It's time for you, your fragrance reviewers that are creeping my channel and not leaving comments, to go buy this and review it and hype it. Do what you gotta do. This is a great release. But if you don't feel the same way as me, don't be shy. Comment below and let us know what you dislike about the release too. As always, a great or poor fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.